What's good, everybody? My name is Alckemy, and today we are going to be talking about a month after using the iPad and whether or not I think that this purchase has been worth it or not. So it's kind of interesting because to put things into perspective, hardware for some reason is always more expensive than doing things digitally. And if we were to take a look at some of the stuff that I have, which isn't much, but I have a Poly in Play, which was $800, which this thing is really cool, but it's designed for a very specific thing. I also have, sorry for the camera, a NPC Live 2, which is for sale, by the way, if anybody's interested. It's practically brand new. The pads have a little bit of wear on them, but everything works perfectly. I still have the plastic on the screen. That thing was $1,300. And for a content creator, trying to find my way through different means of having access to musical components are really amazing. Now, one of the main features of hardware is that they usually come with limitations, but this little thing with an M2 processor is just a totally different beast. Now, is it super physical touch hardware that, has modulatable knobs and this and that? No, but what this does have is, for me personally, this has 16 gigs of RAM, a terabyte hard drive, and access to like relatively infinite apps that you couldn't possibly get through in a lifetime. And it's ever growing. So for me, I actually wish that this was the purchase that I made as like my big secondary studio investment. And I can also use my phone, but there's a few certain things that you can only get on iPad, which doesn't necessarily make this, how do you say, like obsolete. But right now I'm using my phone as my camera as well, so that helps out too. So all in all, this has been an amazing investment, especially as a content creator, because not only can it do some really cool sound design in today's day and age, it's not the best for making music. I'll talk about that in a bit, but it can also do video editing with DaVinci Resolve. It can also do video recording. I can record videos directly from this and either upload them as shorts or throw them into DaVinci Resolve. There's this new app called Capture Pro if you're on iOS 17, to where I can hook up my capture card and play games now and then throw that into DaVinci Resolve and then throw music into that. I can manage YouTube with it. I can game on it if I want to with, Vampire Survivors when I want to take a break. But having this in the palm of my hands or with the Apple Pencil is like such a refreshing take, as opposed to me sitting down at my desk. Now, like, it's weird, right? Because I would say, like, if you're just getting started in music, focus on that laptop, focus on your desktop, focus on like your main rig. That's probably your priority. But for somebody that's been doing content creation, that has covered a lot of different plugins, covered a lot of different tutorials, like, I can't even tell you how many videos I have that are tutorials now. It's super refreshing for somebody like me to invest in something new and to explore new sonic possibilities that has a bunch of variety. Now, the cool thing about this that I think is really where I would like to see more apps both on iPad and desktop go in the future is the interactivity that you have. So what I love is, obviously everything is touchscreen. I know that Windows has touchscreen laptops and stuff, but iPad specifically, maybe some other apps on Windows and stuff too, has different apps on here that are built to be interactive with this. So this has a microphone, right? It's got cameras, it's got, the touchscreen, it's got all these different kinds of functionalities and technology that's built into this. So like, one of my favorite things to show is the impactor. This is a physical modeling engine that will read your microphone and create different kinds of drums and stuff to this that you can record. You can go check out the review on that if you want to in a different video that's already up. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's so awesome. This stuff doesn't really exist for computer. How cool is it that I can open up something like Drum Computer and tap on some of these, maybe make some randomizations or something to the sort, and then whenever I'm done with this, I can go boom, export audio, and then as opposed to having to use an SD card, I can just go, I'm going to drop it to myself. And now that loop is ready to be thrown into Bitwig. Like, you guys have to experience this in order for you to understand the convenience value of it, and also the means of like the capabilities, right? And I still don't think that we're anywhere near close to what the M2 specifically can do as far as pushing the boundaries. I would say even the M1, even the Abionic Z12, I don't know, I'm not really up to date with that. And then supposedly the M3 is coming out next year for the iPads. So there's so much to be discovered with this that I didn't just buy one synth that can only do one thing. There's a ton of different synths in here. They're constantly updating it through the market. This is practically a pocket Bitwig that I can take with me wherever I go. This is also available on iOS, but I've put up tons of videos of me building these insane racks just on my tablet that I can use to, export sounds, or I can use to, save them as presets. Like I have a buddy named Kyle. I sent one of these racks to him and I was like, yo, check this out. This is just one of those things. Like, this is something that I just built, but look, we've got LFOs and random modulators and all these different kinds of effects that you can set up, oscilloscopes, all that. So like all of the sound design sculpting capabilities are already there, and they're actually already there within your phone too. I just like the fact that I can use my phone as my webcam now and then do this on the iPad. But man, like there's so much to do with this little guy. And I would dare say that even though I still wouldn't make music within this, you can check out my Logic Pro for iPad review, to where I'm a little bit disappointed in the audio workflow and how I like to make music. It's not to say that you can't, but you can always sketch beats on here. So you can use Drambo, you can use the Koala sampler, you can use the Dawn beat, which I did pay for Koala sampler. I'm still demoing Dawn beat to see if it's any good. It's a little bit different. But yeah, there's that. There's a synth on here that's built in that uses a camera that whenever it looks at images, it creates sounds, right? So it's, again, it's got all this technology and stuff that's built into it that changes the way that you interact with it musically, and that's what's so inspiring about it. It's not perfect. I do wish that the battery life was a little bit longer on this, and unfortunately there isn't really like a DAW out there that I've seen that can edit as efficiently as Bitwig. That could just be a thing on Bitwig putting itself on the map because it's so sick. But I do think that for the purchase that I've made with this, even though I got the more expensive one, it's definitely been paying off and I've been getting a lot of use out of it. And I cannot tell you how much I love to make sounds in here, export the loops within Bitwig, and then start to make full tracks off of it. In fact, I've played some tracks for you all on my live stream, made them on live stream, if you will, from the loops that I've been making in here. And like I said, I don't have to, surf through sample packs or whatever. I can just immediately get into some randomization here and get into twisting knobs and effects or whatever, and then I've got it on my phone, on my iPad. I can send it to my phone if I want, or I can like have this trifecta of all these different devices being sent to a Mac. So I think that if I were you, I would not focus on getting an iPad as much praise as I have for it. Obviously, this is my first iPad, so there's that. But I would say focus on building your rig. And if you are coming into a position to where you have all of your necessities met with your computer, with your sound design needs, with your DAW, this and that, rather than going and searching for some kind of hardware or something, if you are a zoomer or in today's day and age and like you don't really care so much about that analog warmth or whatever, an iPad can do an awful lot for you for a fraction of the cost. And man, it's just, yeah, I mean, even with buying these, like I did have to purchase most of these, but they're a lot cheaper than their counterparts. So like I think Drum Computer was like $8, where it's like $70 on desktop, and it's like, okay, well, if this is the exact same thing, well, why not just use that and go hang out on the couch? Or I've done sound design in the jacuzzi because we've got a community jacuzzi, and I'm just like making snares in there, and I'm like, this is great. Put my little ear pods in. It's probably not the best way to sound design, but like you could do it, and it's very convenient. So all in all, I am very happy with the iPad and the way that it's turned out. I think that it's still going to be improved as time goes on. If Logic Pro is any kind of testament to that. In the future, I would like to see some like really awesome audio workflow intensive program that I can synthesize and resample and stuff too. But until that day comes, I probably will not be making music on this. But the sound design capabilities are beyond my expectations. I've made some cooler stuff in here. I'm not saying 100%, but I have made some stuff that's cooler than some of the things that I've been making on the computer. And part of that is because it's a different approach. The tools are different, but the way that I think about them and the way that I problem solve is what challenges me and helps me stay motivated within that. So yeah, I don't know. Check out your options before you buy your hardware. This thing will keep on giving as long as it lasts because of the iOS system. Hardware might last longer. There might be that. I don't really know, but I think that this was the right choice for me as opposed to the MPC, even though I've learned quite a bit from that. But yeah, if you guys are interested, then hit me up if you are in the market for buying an MPC. I've taken very good care of it. I've got plenty of tutorials on it. I love the thing, but I don't need this much. So there's that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And let me know what your thoughts are if you have an iPad or an iPhone for sound design or music production. I'll see you guys later.